basically, this is just me and my brain overworking is normal, but I can't say this for sure if other trans people have had this or not, but I'm not other trans people, so I wouldn't know them or what they go through. But if anyone's experienced a panic attack or anxiety attack, then like the split second before that happens, that's what it feels like. And it's been like that since the first phone call from Trans Plus. And realistically, I am who I am, and it's not like I've even been made to do this at all. It's my own choice. And it's like I've already been diagnosed when I was 12 year old. And so I've been aware of my gender dysphoria since I was at least 3 years old. And this is just a phase. Seriously cannot be true for me at all. Like 3 to 23 years old. Well, that's 20 years. So it's still going on, still happening. And no one can convince me that that much time, in that much time, no one can convince me that it is just a phase. And realistically, I can't live as a masked female. And no, I'm not a lesbian, for the one person watching the first 10 seconds of this video. But I'm very much 2 years down into being in a relationship with a cis man. So maybe I'll make a video about that. Who knows? I don't know if I will or not. But all I've been doing every second of every day is trying to convince myself that what I'm feeling is how I'm feeling, and that I'm telling the truth, and desperately wanting and needing to have the medical professionals to listen to me so that I can be re-diagnosed and start getting hormones and top surgery, which is what I feel like I need to have. And I need all of it to really be myself and feel like me, with having everything in my body match who I am and everything. But yeah, since my first appointment, I've been going around and around with what I said to the nurse and the questions he asked to me, and everything I said to him was the truth, and everything I say in the future will absolutely be the truth. In no way, shape or form is lying going to get me anywhere in life, because realistically it's not going to. And yeah, I've never self-harmed or tried to be buried 6 feet under, but so many trans people have. But I can't help thinking, what if I lied about it and said yes? What if I had done those things? And really, I think it's just a thing in my brain to make up and try and get more similarities with other trans people, to try and make it known to the nurse that I'm actually telling the truth about having gender dysphoria, even though I know that doesn't make sense, that I'm lying about something, a small part of it, to try and get what I want. even though it sounds completely mental, I know, but really telling the truth is the only way to go. It's the only way forward, realistically. And if I ever went back to living as female, literally just having my name changed back to what it was originally and being called by female pronouns and just being referred to as female, it would really lead me down to a path of even worse mental health and self-harm and just so much destruction that I would make to my own body. Even now, being misgendered by a few people recently makes me feel so ill with depression and anxiety, and it's causing so much damage. So much damage as other people are now catching on more than what they did previously, because I've always been different and people don't always get or see what that thing is, but being misgendered makes people more aware of the fact that it could be because I'm trans. And I certainly should have been on top of it to stop it from happening, but that means there's a consequence of it happening even more. For me, I'm trying to work out a completely different environment of being in. So I was deeply into sports at school all the way up to 2020, and only ever wanting to be in the army, to being completely rejected in sports and by the army themselves, and now I'm going to try and get into cutting hair. And first I was trying to cut hair in the context of barbering, which is male and masculine, and not everyone who does barbering is male, and not every person who goes into a barber shop who gets their hair cut is male, but it's still typically male. And I've going into cutting hair in a hairdresser's environment, which is typically female. So yeah, it really is different environments, and I might talk about it some other time about the differences between barbering and hairdressing that I've found so far. But going back to what I was saying about Trans Plus, my second appointment is the 15th of December, and honestly, I'm so glad that I'm getting the opportunity to transition, especially now, because we have a very transphobic Prime Minister here in the UK. With everything going on in America, it's made my paranoia so much worse. But for me not to transition for what's going on in America and for the Prime Minister, that certainly makes things about doing things, it makes me not transitioning a thing that I'm not doing because of other people. And people think I would be transitioning for other people, like forcing me into it, when realistically that certainly isn't true. Not transitioning would be doing something because of other people. But now in my life, my parents still don't respect me in any way, shape or form. They still can't call me they still call me by my original name and refer to me by female pronouns. So giving in to what they're saying and not being on the gender identity waiting list is doing what they want as well. I would be dead already if I didn't believe in the fact that my transition actually needs to happen. But anyway, for me, only knowing my second appointment is going to be in Soho with a doctor and a nurse is seriously making me feel more anxious and paranoid. To make me feel better, I think needing a detailed, specific plan of what's going to happen with all the questions and what's going to be asked, with some information about the doctor and the nurse to be sure they are really trained and qualified in what they're doing to actually assess me and for me to be diagnosed and everything like that. I just think that I'm just being me for once and my brain is completely overreacting to something that needs to happen and is going to happen. But this video is going to be what it is, and if it makes sense, I don't expect it will, but it is what it is, just like the other videos and the next ones, and really this whole channel. I don't expect it to make any kind of sense at all in any way. Yeah, I know I'm making the right choice for sure, but I just don't want there to be anything at all that gets in the way of me doing what I need to do and me doing what I have to do. And I just don't want there anything to go wrong, and I want to really prepare myself, and realistically this time me transitioning is my responsibility. I'm over 18, and if I didn't have any money for the train, then that's my fault, and that means I can't get to the appointment, and then I've missed it, and it's not the easiest thing to get a new appointment and asking for specific days and times for the appointment. Like, you can't do that from my experience, and if they offer you an appointment, then you have to take it regardless of what day and time it is. But it is going to be annoying that trying to get to London for 9 AM is going to be 50 quid just for the train ticket. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. But I'm just thinking to myself that everything is going to go wrong, and I'm going to be forced into having to redo the whole thing, wait another minimum 5 years for the referral to go through. And the last time I was diagnosed when I was 11 or 12, so that was also in London, but at the Tavistock Hospital, and my parents were the ones to get me into that and get me to the appointments, but they really weren't having it at all. They really didn't care. They didn't understand the fact that you can't just not turn up to these appointments, and that you have to go to them, and it's not that easy to rebook them. And if you miss one or two, then it's cancelled, basically. You have to get re-referred, re-wait for the first appointment. And yeah, then it was like 2 years or a year or something like that. But it's a long time. To me, the 5 years I've been waiting as an adult feels like 20 years, really. But maybe this time it's because I'm an adult and it's now my responsibility for me to get myself there. And it's my money, and if I don't have money, then it's my fault and my problem. And I'm not trying to have other people involved to blame them if it goes wrong, but I'm seriously glad that it is my responsibility to get myself there, because it's only me that is the problem if it doesn't go through. But oh, I hate this paranoia. It's so all over the place, but me being like this is just me being me, constantly overthinking and everything. But like I said, this video is this video. If it makes sense, it makes sense, but I don't expect it to at all. This is just me and my experience, so don't think that other trans people are like this. This is just me. And what I say is for me and me only. It's not for other people. It's not for other trans people. And realistically, I don't expect anyone to pay attention or listen to me in any way, shape or form. I'm just doing this to try and make myself feel better about myself, really.